Good afternoon, graduates, my valued colleagues, families, friends, and venerable guests. I'm Deborah Nelson, the Dean of the Division of the Arts and Humanities, and I'm thrilled to welcome you and to commend and congratulate the extraordinary artists and scholars who are about to receive their diplomas. This group is the first in the University of Chicago history to graduate from the Division of the Arts and Humanities in the wake of our recent name change. Today, we honor and celebrate you, our graduates, your creative intelligence, your critical scholarship, your research, your drive, your ideas, your writing, your art, and all of your work. It is also worth taking a moment to honor and celebrate the people who helped you along your journey to this moment. Families, friends, partners, professors, and the entire community who carried you here to Convocation. UChicago's graduation ceremony emphasizes the communal celebration of the receiving degrees. On this occasion, we gather together as a community of individuals, each of us uniquely proud of your achievements, and each of us aware of the unique challenges you have overcome to get here. Everyone on this stage has made a meaningful, everyone crossing this stage has made a meaningful contribution to their respective disciplines, the creation and transmission of knowledge and art across the expanse of human culture, throughout history up to the present, with global geographic reach. You are now experts of on humanity's shared languages, literatures, artworks, histories, music, philosophies, and performances, and the artists behind painting, sculptures, installations, songs, symphonies, shows, sketches, films, and every creative outlet in between. We are collectively awed by your achievements and eagerly anticipate the paths you will forge beyond this campus. You have dedicated yourself to the mastery of a field or a craft in a way that few others manage to achieve. And soon you will help influence and shape the future through your continued research, writing, art, and impassioned belief in the power of human knowledge and creativity. Each and every one of you should feel pride, just as we take pride in your accomplishments. Having said that, I should acknowledge that perhaps there is anxiety amid the excitement about what comes next. It is deeply human and often inevitable to reach the summit of a long-sought goal, particularly one defined by intense personal effort, and feel nervous about where to go from here. To anyone who may feel this way, I want to assure you that the world has never been in greater need of your insights, your thoughts, your creativity, and your passion. Our moment demands the exacting, incisive, considerate work that your degree has prepared you to deliver, that you have already proven yourself capable of delivering. You are poised to become the next generation of leaders, and contemporary leadership demands your talents, heterogeneous fluencies of interpretation across language, culture, and medium, and intellectually grounded creativity. A graduate education in the arts and humanities allows one to hone these generative and critical tools. I would even argue that there is nothing more valuable than an education in the humanities and the arts to prepare you for a leadership role, whether that be in academia, the business sector, cultural institutions, creative industries, maybe government at some point, and your communities. You have studied and worked to understand who we have been and who we are. How else can we understand who we might become, who we should become, both individually and collectively? The French philosopher Simone Weil observed, "To be rooted is perhaps the most important and least recognized need of the human soul." Her book, The Need for Roots, written in 1943, reflects on the existential problems humanity confronted during World War II. In such troubled times, then and now, of polarization, planetary tension, personal strain, widespread conflict and dislocation, It is the study of the humanities and the practice of art that provides an epistemological countermeasure. Through theory and practice, we firmly root ourselves in the richness and complexity of our shared histories and empower ourselves to envision and embody a future of shared flourishing. As we confer your degrees and celebrate your success today, and as you progress into the next chapters of your lives, I have one simple request. Please carry with you the spirit of the word convocation, which comes from the Latin convocare, to call together or summon. The work we do in the arts and humanities often entails a kind of summoning, an act of retrieval, whether pulling unprecedented meaning from disparate historical materials or forging art that provokes new dialogue. In this vein, your training here at the university has entailed the forging of connections among ideas, across communities, between seemingly contradictory truths. I know that as you leave this place and continue along the trajectory that will carry you towards the rest of your lives, you will always be able to summon the creativity and wisdom you discovered here. And as you are called by the forces awaiting you in the wider world, I trust that you will allow yourself to be summoned, to continue engaging new ideas, seeking meaningful work, and imagining and contributing to the future of human flourishing. And now, on behalf of your friends, partners, families, and professors, it is my great honor to be the very first to congratulate you on your graduation. As we celebrate the accomplishments of those who are graduating, we also would like to celebrate members of our community for their achievements in service, growth, teaching, mentoring, and scholarship. We would like first to recognize our staff for their accomplishments in service and growth. We are waiting for movement. We are pleased to honor the Division of the Arts and Humanities staff member receiving one of the Outstanding Service Awards. We recognize Elisa Padilla-Dexter, Grants Manager in the Office of the Dean, for her dedication and responsibility in assisting our divisional community with financial management and grant processes. There you go. We are pleased to honor the Division of the Arts and Humanities staff member receiving the Growth Champion Award. We recognize William Weaver, Department Administrator in Philosophy, for his tireless work and innovative ideas in supporting our students and faculty within the department. Anton Ford, Deputy Dean, will announce our next 5 award recipients today, given to those graduate students, respectively, for excellence in teaching and scholarship and for exemplary course design and syllabus construction.
We are pleased to honor 2 Arts and Humanities graduate students receiving the Dean's Award for Graduate Students Teaching Excellence. First, we recognize Nat Maudlin, a PhD student of the Department of Cinema and Media Studies and Germanic Studies, for their truly outstanding performance as a graduate student teacher for undergraduate and master's degree students. I'm honored to confer the Award for Graduate Student Teaching Excellence to Nat Maudlin. We next recognize Kashef Qureshi, a PhD student in the Department of English Language and Literature, for their truly outstanding performance as a graduate student teacher for undergraduate and master's degree students. I'm honored to confer the Award for Graduate Student Teaching Excellence to Kashef Qureshi. Today, we also recognize Arts and Humanities graduate students for their outstanding course design as part of the Stuart Tave Course Design Award. Former Dean of the Humanities Division, Stuart Tave, will be remembered for his outstanding contributions to teaching and student life. He was committed to the highest standards of research and to the dissemination of intellectual inquiry through teaching. Stuart Tave passed away on January 6, 2026, and we are honored to recognize 3 recipients to continue his legacy with the Stuart Tave Course Design Awards. First, we recognize Jesse Alperin, a PhD student in the Departments of Art History and the Committee of Social Thought, for exemplary course design. I'm honored to confer the Stuart Tave Course Design Award to Jesse Alperin. Second, we recognize Joseph Harris, a PhD student in the Department of Middle Eastern Studies, for exemplary course design. I'm honored to confer the Stuart Tave Course Design Award to Joseph Harris. Third, we recognize Ye Rum Esther Kim, a PhD student in the Departments of Comparative Literature and Romance Languages and Literatures, for exemplary course design. I'm honored to confer the Stuart Tave Course Design Award to Ye Rum Esther Kim.
For the Dean's Distinguished Dissertation Awards, Shay Wolf, Dean of Students, will honor a recent alumnus for their excellence in scholarship.
I now have the honor of conferring the Dean's Distinguished Dissertation Award. This award acknowledges the outstanding scholarly contributions of a dissertation completed in the Division of the Arts and Humanities. The 2026 award goes to Tobias Shunshin, who earned their doctoral degree in the Department of Middle Eastern Studies for their superb dissertation, Recording Justice in Byzantine and Early Islamic Egypt 550 to 800, Material Culture, Ordinary People, and the Making of the Islamic State. Tobias couldn't be here today, but we recognize his accomplishments within the department.
We are now honoring exceptional graduate students in the Division of the Arts and Humanities Master's Degree programs, the Master of Arts program in the Humanities, the Master of Fine Arts in the Department of Visual Arts, the Master of Arts in the Center for Middle Eastern Studies, and the Master of Arts in Digital Studies of Language, Culture, and History. Deputy Dean Henwa Hayak will honor several graduates for their exemplary scholarship.
Today, we are presenting awards to outstanding graduate students in the master's programs for the Division of the Arts and Humanities. I start with the honor of conferring the Dean's Award for Excellence in the Master of Arts program in the Humanities to 3 recipients. First, we recognize Cass Crèvecoeur for excellence within the academic program. I'm honored to confer the Excellence in the Master of Arts program in the Humanities to Cass Crèvecoeur. Second, we recognize Evan Dayu Ling for exemplary distinction within the academic program. I'm honored to confer the Excellence in the Masters of Arts program in the Humanities to Evan Dayu Ling. Third, we honor Will Robertson for excellence within the academic program. I'm honored to confer the Excellence in the Master of Arts program in the Humanities to Will Robertson. We now recognize a graduate student from the Department of Visual Arts. I'm honored to confer the award for Outstanding Graduate Leader in Visual Arts to Elle Lee for outstanding contributions to the field. Now, Elle. Now we recognize a graduate student from the Center for Middle Eastern Studies. I'm honored to confer the Dean's Award for Excellence in Middle Eastern Studies to Erin Anderson in recognition of exemplary distinction within the academic program. Next, we recognize our final graduate student with the Dean's Award for Excellence in Digital Studies of Language, Culture, and History. I'm honored to confer this award in digital studies to Sifan Raymond Chen in recognition of academic excellence and the ability to foster a culture of collaboration.
For the Janelle M. Mueller Awards in Pedagogy, Deputy Dean Anton Ford will honor 2 outstanding recipients.
I have the honor of conferring the Janelle M. Mueller Award for Excellence in Pedagogy, named in honor of the former Dean of the Division of Arts and Humanities, Janelle Mueller. This year we have 2 recipients for this award that recognizes the contributions of lecturers, senior lecturers, and instructional professors within the Division of Arts and Humanities. First, Arnold Brooks, an assistant instructional professor in the Department of Philosophy. I'm pleased to present Arnold Brooks with the Janelle M. Mueller Award for Excellence in Teaching. The second Janelle M. Mueller Award winner is Catherine Desjardins, instructional professor in the Department of Visual Arts. I'm pleased to present Catherine Desjardins with the Janelle M. Mueller Award for Excellence in Pedagogy.
I now have the honor to bestow the Bobby Josephine Hernandez Shea, AM 1993, and Morgan Chowan Shea, MBA 1993, Teaching Award. This is formerly known as the Shea Award. This award honors faculty members who guide the intellectual development of undergraduate students through exceptional teaching and mentoring. This year's exemplary recipient is Mernouche Charus, Assistant Professor in the Department of Middle Eastern Studies. I am honored to present Mernouche with the Shea Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Teaching. It is now our honor to recognize each individual student for their accomplishments in completing their program of study in the Master of the Arts, Master of the Fine Arts, and Doctor of Philosophy.
Dean Nelson, as the Dean of Students for the Division of the Arts and Humanities, I now have the honor to present these students who have successfully completed a program of advanced study in the Master of Arts, culminating in the degree of Master of Arts. Hafsa Abbasi. Ainsley Amadian. Miriam Alafrangi. Elisa Louise Alexander. Abdulrahman Alshankiti. Ricardo Kiyoshi Alzadi Amano. Erin Elizabeth Anderson. Orit Arman. Patrick Atkinson. Isaac Lorenzo Russell Bates. Michaela Bauman. Holly Fouts Bean. Chad Burkich. Rachel Bueller. Matthew Caputo. Huang Hu Chen. Rebecca Chen. Sifan Chen. Xingyu Chen. Xinlan Chen. Huanju Chen. Long Hyun Chu. Homan Daniel Chung. Natalie Clark. Elizabeth Connolly. Maurizio Correa. Cassandra Craveker. Zaylene Shui. Cami Davis. Deepo Dina. Lily Dong. Sarah McCrae English. Grace Feeney. Francis Roshi Feng. Olivia Pfizer. Catherine Frost. Daya Go. Sheng Ji. Arden Gentry. Jiaxi Zhang. Esme Graham. Kira Grossfield. Andrew Haggerty. Ella Harper. Krista Harianto. Yu Ying He. Elisa Bryn Herring. Egan Hill. Shuling Xia. Xiaohuan Xiao. Jasmine Regina Jones. Akasari. Leah Kissick. William Knight. Tin Hee Kong. Sha Xing Huai. Julia Kugel. Alexandria Eslin Lee. Hai Ro Lee. Kiko Lee. Ron Lee. Shannon Lee. Xiao Wen Lee. Shin Lee. Evan Dayu Ling. Lily Lisnick. Wan Hong Liu. Xianxi Liu. Sunny Zihi Liu. Shayuhui Liu. Yu Young Liu. Zhao Liu. Zhu Hao Lu. Cleo Lau. Maliha Mahmoon. Shiro Mao. Olivia Martin. Kira McComb. Samuel McFerrin. Paul Elliott McMahon. Mary Lee Mercier. Francis Millar. So yeah, oh. Jia Patel. Alejandra Paz Mendoza. Kaylee Cynthia Helen Perez. Emma Peters. Lucia Perron. Zhengnan Chu. Lu Chio. Clara Lucia Rathke. Sarah Rhodes. William Edward Farish Robertson. Alondra Romero. Matthew Rosario. Joe Selmexi. Kyoko Shimomura. Jessie Ann Singh. Taryn Slattery. Zoe Elizabeth Smith Tornod. Reagan Stevens Keller. Carrie Street. Wendy Sue. Amanda Sukanik. Bella Belisa Sulowski. Danny Tan. Reina Xian. Kaylin Tronson. Mackenzie Tucker. Yelnura Tenespikova. Nicholas Valencia. La Chuin Wong. Rongxi Wang. Ruanfeng Wang. Sitia Wang. Yuj Wei. Jordan Westlake. Isabel Wheat. Benny Wild. Soraya Wilson. Ruini Wu. Shi Xiang Xu. Atticus Young. Luhan Young. Zuhan Michael Yang. Sihuyan Yin. Rashuan Wan. Ten Yi Wan. Xin He Hui. Franklin Zheng. Henny Sheng. Nan Zheng. Jinshi Chao. Yangshu Zhu. Jiahao Zong. And last but not least, Simone Zhou. Dean Nelson, as the Dean of Students for the Division of the Arts and Humanities, I now have the honor to present these students who have successfully completed a program of advanced study in the visual arts culminating in the degree of Master of Fine Arts. The chair of the Department for Visual Arts, Laura Latinsky, will help congratulate the department's new graduates. Jeffrey Culver Biesinger. Otis Boat. Maya Janine DaCosta. L. Lee. Yingfei Liang. Zihan Chiu. Olivia Isabel Rosado. Kiana Shania. And Hei Sul Song. Please join us in listening to organist Tom Weisflog play a festive trumpet tune composed by David German as a musical interlude before we present the doctoral degrees. As Dean of Students for the Division of the Arts and Humanities, I now have the honor to present the students who have attained scholarly distinction and have prepared a dissertation that contributes to the knowledge in a particular field of research in arts and humanities, culminating in the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Lizette Ariano Martinez, Department of Romance, Languages, and Literatures. Dissertation, Un retrato mías pedido, Gender, Beauty, and the Female Gaze in the Spanish Golden Age. Yin Tsai, Department of East Asian Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Weaving Nature into Fabrics of Power, Craft, Empire, and Entangled Knowledge in Qing China, 1644 to 1922. Ryan Campagna, Department of English Language and Literature. Dissertation, Hewing Whiteness in Early Modern English Literature. Charlotte Carey Beckett, Department of English Language and Literature. Dissertation, The Global Cottage, English Forms in a World of Difference, 1800 to 1860. Zoe Carey Beckett, Department of English Language and Literature. Dissertation, Life in Contemporary Fictional Worlds. Alice Casalini, Department of Art History. Dissertation, Paradigms of Beholding, the Architecture of Religious Experience in Gandhara, 1st through 4th century CE. Stephen Castro, Department of Linguistics, dissertation, Kailoma's fruit salads, halves, and parts, linguistic constructions of mixedness in the Fiji Islands. Hyun Ji Choi, Department of Art History, dissertation, From Tradition to Transition, the modern industrialization of Meiji Kutaniyaki, circa 1650 to 1915. Christopher Clark, the Department of Comparative Literature, dissertation, The Anti-Aesthetics of Black Gang Culture. Stephen Cuniff, Department of Philosophy, dissertation, Freedom Through Shared Purpose, Hegel on Self-Consciousness, Recognition, and the Teleological Structure of Agency. Minori Igashira, Department of Art History, dissertation, Okimono in America and Japan, Rethinking Meiji Period Sculpture and Related Objects. Kai-Sheng Fang, Department of Classics, dissertation, Detached Sociability in Seneca's Philosophy. Jonah Francese, Department of Music, dissertation, We the New Ancestors, the Passing of Native Hip-Hop Bundles Across Space and Time. Ronit Ghosh, Departments of Music and South Asian Languages and Civilizations, dissertation, Unheard Melodies and Tangled Paths of Studio-Born Bengali Song, 1930 to 1970. Amy Elise Gonzalez, Department of Music, dissertation, Reviving, Reimagining, and Reclaiming Cuba's Colonial Musical Past in the 20th and 21st Centuries. Joseph Hermes, Department of Middle Eastern Studies, dissertation, Assyrians Over Here, State Surveillance, Transnational Activism, and Citizenship in World War I America. Jennifer Jensen, Department of Germanic Studies, dissertation, Unweaving Germany, A Cultural History of Textiles in Literature and Visual Art, 1970 to 90. Corinne Casper, Department of Linguistics. Dissertation, Documenting Conversation in New Varieties of Potawatomi. Sharik Khan, Department of South Asian Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Poetic Piety, Melodious Modernity, Rumi's Masnavi in South Asia. Julia Kopeski, Department of Comparative Literature. Dissertation, Transtextual Relationality in Oceti Shakowi Literature. Carolyn Nancy Joanne Kropp, Department of Middle Eastern Studies. Dissertation, What Makes a Master Copy? Analyzing identifying features of proposed Verlagen for Egyptian funerary texts. Anne Monique Pace, Department of Music. Dissertation, Clowning in Crisis, Reviving Commedia dell'arte on the Operatic Stage, 1911 to 1926. Miriam Pacheco Salazar, Department of Romance, Languages, and Literatures. Dissertation, Ghosts of the Island, Youth Political Culture, Defeat, and the Afterlives of Dictatorship in Contemporary Dominican Literature. Itamar Ramote, Department of South Asian Languages and Civilizations. Dissertation, Investigating Dharma, Religion, Literature, and the Training of Vigilant Readers in 10th through 11th century South Asia. Anna Marie Sprenger, Department of Linguistics. Dissertation, Styling the Future, Language, Gender, and Desire in Iași, Romania. Michael Stabline Jr., Departments of English Language Literature and Theater and Performance Studies. Dissertation, Boys Will Be Men and Other Consequences. Farah Today, Department of Romance, Languages, and Literatures. Dissertation, Les muses sont données, sessualita, comunita, et lettura, el tempo del Decameron. And last but not least, Si Zhao Yi, Department of Art History. Dissertation, The World of Things in Chen Hongshou's 1598-9 to 1652 paintings.
Phew, that was hot. You will see that all the graduates are wearing the same robe, but the faculty are not, because you wear the robe of your degree granting, PhD granting, or MA granting institution as your regalia, so that you always carry us with you, whether you want to or not, wherever you go, wearing that regalia, even if it's a Halloween party. So it has been a great pleasure to welcome you all here, to see our graduates proudly accept their diplomas. We all know, and I'm sure you have heard, what an accomplishment that is. We have one final round of applause for all the graduates. This now concludes the Division of the Arts and Humanities graduation and hooding ceremony at the 540th Convocation of the University of Chicago. We thank you for bearing witness to today's ceremony. Congratulations. Please join us for a reception on the East Lawn, which is that way.